hello, I'm MBX welcome back to the video. So I am back from the Christmas/Boxing Day festivities I mentioned yesterday, and that means I can get straight back into making videos. There's a lot I really do want to make, and I'll be making those over the next few days. However, in today's video, I wanted to talk about something that's kind of important, and it's kind of relevant today because it's the week, I guess not anniversary, but it's been a week since TU46 came out, and I wanted to kind of review the update a little bit more objectively now we've all had time to really experience it, and talk about why I think it might be one of the best updates ever. Even though it's not necessarily as feature-packed as some other ones, I think it's one of the best updates to come out for Minecraft console, and in today's video I'll be explaining why, so hopefully you will enjoy it. Like the video if you do, because it helps out the channel, and let's know you do like these sorts of videos where I talk about the state of the game and how it is right now and stuff. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. So yeah, that said, let's get straight into why I think this is. Again, I'm just going to lay my cards straight on the table, perhaps the best update ever, because honestly the very first thing I have to say is the fact that this year, 2016, has been the best year for Minecraft console, I think, on record. Like, we've had, like 4 major updates, more than any other year, 2 mini games, 2 featured ones, and the time between TU43 and TU46 was the shortest between 2 major updates, I think, ever. I mean, technically TU1 and TU3 beats it, but that's, 1 4 years ago, and 2 when the game came out, so it's not entirely fair, but still, yeah, it's the shortest time between 2 major updates, and in that shortest time, we got all the features we did actually get. And the thing about the features that makes me like it so much is the fact that all of the features in this update, again, it's because it's based on 1.9, seem to be very late game features. So think of it this way, the features we have in this update are 2 brand new systems of transport. There's the Elytra, where you have to go to the end islands, do all that sort of stuff, but then you have the most amazing form of transport for it. There is the brand new boats, but to properly use them in their most fun way, I mean, they work in water, but their most fun way is on ice. Like, you have to go for a lot of effort there too. Basically, they're 2 features which require some work. I mean, in previous updates, like, you hear about something like beetroot, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll go find some beetroot. You go to a village, and oh, that's beetroot, because it doesn't really do anything. Whereas if you take a feature like the Elytra, which for the record is a sentence that rhymes, but yeah, if you take a feature like the Elytra, there's so much you can do with that. You can make these giant towers to fly off into. You can make like little courses to play around with. The fact that there's so much to play around with the feature is actually really exciting, and that's just one of the things in this update. So let's go beyond the 2 brand new transport methods, which are both great fun, and I'm working on my Let's Play world for both of them, and like the amount of fun there is to be out of that alone. There's also the fact that they entirely revamped the end and made it a more fun experience. This is one of the core parts of Minecraft you're always working towards. Have you noticed in most of my streams, it's always like race to the end in this way or that way? That's because that's the thing that Minecraft leads you towards. Once you've beaten the end, now there's like a second step to it, and that's really exciting. So yeah, they redid the Ender Dragon fight, which makes things more exciting. So they redid what comes afterwards, and they made the game kind of stretch on a little bit more. So yeah, as far as why I think this update's kind of good is because when you look at the actual survival features, which is how most people play the game, I think, when you watch this video, when you look at the survival features in this update, they all really prolong the amount of time you can do these big projects, and they also allow you to do more big things. Like if you want to build, like a giant pink tower, now you can do that in survival. It's kind of tricky, but that's the fun thing about survival, right? If you want to make a giant Elytra course and fly through it, you don't need to mod the game. You can do that all in survival. So yeah, that's the reason I think that this update has the biggest core, but that it goes on, honestly, a lot beyond that, because you can take like those 5 features and say there's some of those in every update, but think about then every other feature they added into that. So there's for instance the tipped arrows and the lingering potions. Those are amazing. If you're into PvP, I know there's like a decent sized PvP community on console, then that's just been that's gone a whole lot more interesting, because there's a lot more stuff to play around with. Like, lingering potions are seriously dangerous if you have harming one. I'll mention that in a video soon, but yeah, basically, lingering potions can be seriously harmful. The brand new arrows mean there's like so much more decision making to be made when it comes to using a bow. The fact that they took a lot of different hardcore features, from different places. So hardcore survival players, if you want to go defeat the end, that's gotten more tricky. If you want to just goof around in survival and like make a course with your Elytra, guess what, you still have to do the end, but then you can just goof around with friends if you want to and make these crazy courses to play with. Like the I guess what I really love about this update is there's something kind of big for everyone. Even if you're a creative player, admittedly there's no end stone because that was from the last update, but the fact that there is a brand new set of blocks, that's enough for some people to play with. I've seen some builds of those and it's kind of cool. I've seen a lot of people use the amplified wall type as a basis for making these amazing kind of builds, and the fact that there's all these different possibilities of taking any part of this update and applying it to any part of the game people play. The way I like to say the Minecraft is, it's not really one game, it's lots of different games that people play that happen to be coming under the same Minecraft logo. I think pretty much every single category of that, besides maybe redstone users, and even then not entirely like bad, every category got something, and most of the people that play the game got something really big. Personally, I love this update because in my survival world, I'm always doing something giant. Like right now I'm working on a giant like ice pathway, then I'm going to go back to making sure that I've got like enough Elytra places so I can fly around the world that way, and then I'm going to go back into fighting the Ender Dragon some more, like racking up that XP, getting some dragon eggs, getting some dragon heads, getting some purple, then maybe building some of the purple. There's just all these steps to work with for every single game mode you can play the game in, and that's why I think a lot of people really do quite like this update. That's why I really quite like it personally, and according to my poll on Twitter, I decided, I like this, but is it just me? So So I asked people, which of these 3 updates is your favorite? 50% of people said TU46, just 3% of people said TU43, so the, the polar bear update, 11% of people said TU31, and then there's 36% on the joke, but still, that means that compared to the past 2 updates, 3.5 times as many people like this one, and, part of me figures that, like, oh, maybe some of that's just people who are still kind of excited, and admittedly, it's the fact that it's lasted well more than a week is actually kind of a big thing in itself, because, again, you can be like, well, it's kind of new, but bear in mind, at this point after the last update, people were already thinking like, oh, this was nice, but what about that, new combat, or the new end, or the new this, 4J, what about all this stuff? This is the point in the game where people are already kind of looking towards the next thing, but yet people will still admit this last update is good, and that has to kind of count for something in my opinion. So yeah, as far as I can tell, the opinion of people who follow me being pretty good. The opinion from the videos, again, this is like one of those metrics I measure it by. You can put this down to like, oh, what's a cat? You made some good videos, and I'd like the compliment, but I think the fact that so many people have watched all these T46 things is because it is a big update where people want to know all these different things you can do, and the kind of overarching point I'm trying to get across this video is I think T46 might have been one of the best survival updates ever. It's not the best in terms of like just pure content in there, but the way this content is all aimed at late game stuff makes me think that Minecraft in general is in some exciting territory, because bear in mind that the PC development team, after they had that giant gap, so 1.9 is just after this gap, so that's what we've just caught up to. It only came out earlier this year on the PC. All the stuff they're working on now seems to be in a similar vein, where it's like there's some silly stuff like alpacas coming or llamas coming into the PC, but then you got stuff like woodland mansions, you got stuff like treasure maps. It seems like they're trying to work on more of this sort of stuff, which means that the console could be getting more amazing updates, as well as more other stuff like different mini games or realms or all these different things, which makes me think that 2017 might become one of the best years for Minecraft console. Again, that's just my feeling right now. Again, just going back and kind of excited and want to go play in my survival world and work on that ice thing. So yeah, I personally think T46 is perhaps the best update ever in my opinion. I think overall it probably ranks like up there, like if you want to be like, well, by pure content this one beats it, but I think in terms of my own personal opinion, it's got to be one of the best, and I'd like to hear your opinions if you're like, no, this is the worst for this reasons, that reasons, that reasons, in the comments down below, or if you agree with me. Again, it's always something I'm curious to read with the comments. Like if you did like it though, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage.